Hey everyone, Derek here with a quick news update on The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, namely the making of featurettes that Nintendo released today showing how, well, the game was made. So we're actually going to go through and point out some of the more interesting bits that they revealed about the development of Zelda. Development actually began in earnest around January of 2013, and a private message board was used to offer suggestions on how to reconsider Zelda conventions. This led to a lot of different ideas, especially from the younger development staff, and besides the alien attack concept that was already revealed at GDC, there was also one about giant weapons that could battle with laser beams while Link ran across the battlefield between them, and they even have an early example of that concept. They also talked about the 2D prototype that was also shown at GDC, but they also mentioned how it showed that the interconnectivity between all objects would naturally create new emergent experiences, and that really had an effect on the course of their ideas. In addition, the Jomon period in Japanese history was the inspiration for the Sheikah Slate, the shrines, and other ancient objects and structures. This is because it was mostly unknown to most of the world, and it had a real sense of mystery and wonder to all of it. Moving on to the game's story and characters, Aonuma revealed that he believes that if developers are too focused on doing a game's story in a certain way, that ruins the gameplay. You become too focused on that piece, and you can't really play how you want. They also showed off some more of the early Link designs, and talked a bit about how Ganon was developed as well. With Ganon, they first came up with how he should fit into the game mechanically as the final boss. They then spoke with their designers about things that fit their criteria, like his size and visual design. They also considered his design based on this version of Hyrule and how he should look from there. We were then shown a bunch of different Zelda concepts, and rather than coming up with Zelda's story, they approached her character in two different ways. The planners thought about what kind of person she was and why she's in a position that makes us want to save her, essentially what the game's setting should be. The designers, however, focused on first impressions. It was all about how her design could make you feel something for her. Nintendo believes that they can't make something amazing until you integrate these 2 points. More concept art was also shown, including Link in a spacesuit with a Metroid, which, hey, they haven't forgotten Metroid, so maybe we just need a Zelda game based around Metroid, where Link and Samus meet up. Stranger things have happened. In addition, they were working on this game up until its release. One of the characters' color schemes from the January trailer was soon changed for functional purposes. In addition, Aonuma revealed that the Guardians were inspired by the Octoroks from the original game, partly because they seemed huge and their movements were erratic. And when designing enemies, they always start with Link, and then a single type of enemy, and then branch out from there based on those designs. They also revealed one of the ideas that they had to cut from the game, which included tiny people with small villages that Link could shrink and then visit. Now obviously this sounds a lot like the Minish Cap, and they actually show footage from that game during this making of portion. However, they didn't cut this concept because of the gameplay, but because of the sheer danger these tiny people would be in because the world was just so wild and dangerous. So it seemed impossible for them to survive. Moving on, when they were determining how big Hyrule should be, they decided to think about the size of Kyoto. Doing this actually helped them think about the distance from place to place, and the world is roughly 12 times the size of Twilight Princess. Additionally, one of their first ideas for breaking conventions was getting rid of heart drops and focusing on cooking and hunting to restore health. They then talked a bit about the music and sound design. The piano had never really been used in a Zelda game before, and they decided to change that since it also felt natural to work it in with the ambient sounds. And to their surprise, 1 in 4 songs in the game employed melodies from past Zelda games. They held up that well. As a fun bit of trivia, they also have a sound effect for a bokoblin picking its nose, created by sticking a finger in a wet cloth and squishing it around. But most interestingly about the development, when they reached certain milestones, the team would take the time to play everything that they created at that point. It also served as a way to thoroughly check everything that they created. And Aonuma said that it was difficult taking a week off so everyone could play, but he believed making room for this playtesting shortened the overall development time. So those are the main points from the making of. It's really interesting stuff, and I highly encourage you all to watch it, especially if you have been enjoying Zelda, and sort of see the thought process on how they made this game and what led them to make certain decisions. With all that said, thank you guys for watching, and of course be sure to subscribe to GameXplain for more on Zelda and other things gaming as well. Until next time, bye.